Welcome to The Perspective. Every time the music comes on, I start like bobbing my head.
You have to.
It's good. It's good. Special Red Shoe Tuesday. Glad to have you all here. We've got some fun things to go through from last week.
We're like matching shoes in here today. You're not going to say anything about it?
Dude.
Wearing the same
We
shoe.
look dope as hell. That's what I'm
no,
gonna say.
it's awesome. Red Shoe Tuesday. We did this intentionally for Nick's birthday.
Yes.
We're filming today. It's your birthday. Come on.
Yes.
I'm about to break out in song.
Hurry. Call me. Congratulate me.
Yeah, seriously. What are you doing in here at work? Get out of here.
Gosh, I just don't know how to do anything else.
Yeah, happy birthday.
Thanks.
Red Shoe Tuesday it is today, and we got a great perspective coming. We had a phenomenal week last week, starting with the Cracker Jack incentive. That's one of my favorites because it's like an immediate reward where you get to go take a group of guys to a MLB game, and we had 2 groups hit it last week.
Yes. It's my favorite too because it's the one that I always get myself out to.
Yeah, it's like, hey, I'm not going to...
Everything that happens in the office can stay in the office. I'm headed to an MLB game. Congrats to both Rooted and Exclusive. Absolutely dominated that incentive. We finished the week with 164 sold. Good bounce back week. So props to each one of those regions and groups for accomplishing that.
I feel like a broken record, but I'm going to say it. That 150 benchmark as a business is really where we've tried to maintain week after week, and we have throughout the course of the summer. Had a little bit of a small road bump over the 4th of July, but we expect and are forecasting that we'll remain at that 150 mark all the way up through the end of August. So we appreciate all the efforts, and we're going to go through the numbers and talk about how those things played off. But a lot of it had to do with the playoffs, had to do with guys competing in the regular season of the playoffs. If you won 2 in a row, you got the red hat that Nick's wearing. And that was motivating guys to go throw down. We had Cracker Jack going on. So a lot happening, and we want to continue that momentum this week. The new number to beat for this week is 164. Let's go see if we can do better than 164.
Yeah, the playoffs, those hats have been shipped. So as you win them, we ship them out. You should see them. We shipped another shipment yesterday. So wanted to jump into some numbers. We had some dominating performances. Paulo, congratulations on a brand new baby, and in the same week, the top rep in the company. That is so impressive to me.
How do you do that? How do you become the number 1 rep the same way? Like that, then that weekend, welcome another child into the world, and he sold 8.
Nobody else can have any other excuse because having a baby and being at home, so important. So props to you. 8 on the week. Tate Foster with 8 as well. They had a massive blitz.
Dude,
for Synergy
just
Group.
crushed it. Like 8 accounts. They're a big reason why Rooted won that Cracker Jack incentive. And Tate led the way there with those 8 accounts.
So impressive. Payson, Jake Shreve, Jake Zimmer, Caden Carlos, and Junior Gonzalez, Jared Russell, all finishing out with 6.
Awesome.
And then Tyler Bean, McCray Foster, David Jimenez, Jace Hansen, and Braxton with 5. So props to you guys.
Massive week. As we get into the lead side of the business, Tate Moser holding down the number 1 spot, our Mamba champ, 7 leads last week. Tate Foster 5, Jake, Dylan, and Danny all with 5. Jace Hansen, Brandon Simpson with 4, Andrew Buck with 3, Josh Kane with 3, Alex Henderson with 3, Brady Jones, Trevin Facer, Travis, Chris, Caesar, Max, like the list of 3s, David Melby, it just keeps going. Like there's a ton of guys with 3 last week. To me, if I'm a lead rep, that benchmark's always at least a minimum of 2. And then anything past that's just dominating.
Cherry on top.
Yep. Heck yeah.
Yeah. I love seeing you see kind of some redundancy with closers. They'll pop up in the lead area like a Tate Foster, meaning that he went out and had a bunch of self-gens. So really cool to see that and impressive. We broke, I believe, 300 on the month here recently. So halfway towards our goal by hitting that 150 a week. So
yeah, that gets us to the 600 on the month, right? Yeah. When we go look at top offices, It's almost comical to me to go look at the number 1 and number 2 office last week. Number 1 office with 31 accounts sold was Team Arbor. Number 2 office with 30 accounts sold was Team Tribus. Those two have been so competitive all summer long. And the fact that they're just like 1 account away, like somebody literally went in and put an account late Saturday night just to make sure that they
Just giving
held
them the
down that
bird.
top office. Yeah, it's like, hey, we're going to go
Hey,
take
we just
top
got
office
one
this
more.
week. Yeah. I love that. Gosh. And then the number 3 office in the company last week, we kind of already mentioned them, but Synergy, McCrae, Tate, Alex, Jared, there's all those guys on that team. Just amazing group of guys. And they're crushing right now. They're getting hot and getting momentum at the right time of year to go really make a run in the playoffs. And threw down with 25 last week. Apex had a great week, 17. Absolute had a great week, 16. Exclusive was 16. And from there you kind of get into alpha 13 and so on. But our top offices last week, good to see that bounce back week, 164 accounts on the week as a company.
Yeah, so impressive. Great numbers for last week. The expansion tour is coming here in August. We will be headed out to visit the teams, to go do one-on-ones, interviews. It's kind of the opportunity to go, as it says, to expand the business, right?
Yeah, so it's really 2 things that we do on our expansion tour. One is it's a critical time of year for us to get feedback from the business, like the feet on the street, the red shoes, right? It's like, let's go figure out how every single year we're never getting comfortable or satisfied. We're just staying hungry and saying, where can we go improve this business? So that expansion tour for Quade and I, it's all about getting in there, spending time with individuals and listening, like taking that feedback so that we can go figure out ways to adjust and change and tweak so that the business can continue to create this growth story, right? Like, up a couple 100%, up 100% this year over year. How do we go do that again? Well, a big part of that is this expansion tour and making sure that we're getting the right feedback. The other big part of the expansion tour is it really is expanding it. I almost think of it like a construction project in terms of building a business. You've got to go push out that foundation. Where are those footings at? Like how strong are they? How big are they? And in a sales org, so much of that has to do with your sales leadership. You can't grow past the sales leadership that you have as a core of your business. It's just anytime you try and do that, you're just setting yourself up to lose a lot of sales reps, create a really bad experience. So for us, making sure that foundation, our leadership, our sales leaders are the right guys in the right positions. So that way, as we continue to scale and build the business, it's on a really strong foundation. So for us, this expansion tour is all about going out and promoting those key individuals, right? The cream that's risen to the top, the guys that have gone out and written the right story, the guys that have earned it. Like, I love that about this business. There's nothing political about it. You just go earn it, right? And those guys we're going to go promote. And sometimes you get worried as an owner of like, what about the guy that killed it but wasn't quite that guy? How does he feel about it? And I don't know how he feels about it, but I can tell you how I think he should feel about it. If we're growing at 100% year over year, I'm looking at it and saying, this business is growing. They are promoting people. How do I make sure that I'm that guy this spring or next summer? How do I go, like, it's happening. This is one of the fastest growing renewable energy companies in the country. How do I go make sure I'm one of those guys next year? And so to me, that expansion tour is all about that, like getting those right guys to go receive those well-earned promotions.
I love that what you said was actually a question, right? It was like, how do I get to be that guy? For those individuals, make sure they're asking that question, right? Ask your mentors, ask your leaders, ask the people around you, ask Dave and Quade. That should be a question. If you're right on that cusp, hey, how do I go open the next market? How do I become a DM? How do I become the next LDM? And that's huge by asking that question, getting that feedback.
The expansion tour just got to be motivating, right? Because I don't want anybody discouraged. The reality is the vision of the business is to go create 42 net worth millionaires. The vision of the business is people matter. that as you succeed, the business succeeds. It's like the simplest, timeless business principle. If you succeed, we succeed. So for us, like the mission of 42, like I don't want anyone discouraged by it. I want everyone looking at it saying, it's happening. This thing's moving. How do I go make sure that I'm performing at the right level, creating the right story, so that as these things are happening, I'm participating in a major way. I'm committed enough that I get to go play all out in this opportunity.
When the big mo happens, how are you the one that's on the wave, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Absolutely love that. Guys, excited to get out to you for the expansion tour. Thanks again. Have a fantastic week. We love you all.
See you soon.